Alors, moi, j'utilise jamais un stick de dressage parce que, à part pour le travail au sol, mais c'est pour préparer le travail monté, ce qu'on a fait avec les sticks de dressage. J'utilise plutôt quelque chose de rigide parce qu'on peut quand même gratter avec ça. Ça cingle pas, ça ne chatouille pas aussi, parce que les sticks de dressage, là, avec la petite mèche, des fois, ça les chatouille. Et ça, au moins, c'est assez rigide. Et je peux gratter le garrot avec. Donc, c'est plus facile pour moi. Et c'est plus précis aussi, parce que c'est moins flexible.
Something that I want to point it out is that training for transport should really start as soon as possible in the life of a horse. So don't let, just loading in the trailer as the last step that you have to do just before your main competition or to do anything else. So really, prevention is the key. And I mean, the best training that you could do is a habituation. So when the horse is basically still a foal and is just following the mom everywhere, then basically you should actually load the mare. Really, if you have a mare without a problem for loading, and you will see that the foal will just follow the mom everywhere. And then for that foal going in the box, in the stall, in the trailer, it's just the same. And really, this is called just habituation method. So, and that's something that you have to do really when they're still under the mom. Then, clearly you can do also a type of simple habituation. You try to make an association, a positive association with the trailer in itself. So, you miss the train when it was fall, then when they are yearling, after the winning, another practice, you just put the trailer inside the paddock, and you actually put, food in the trailer, and you let your yearling eating in the trailer. And, basically they will load by themselves inside, they load, they eat, they stay in the trailer, and they go out. And for them, again, the trailer just become part of the environment. So how they go in the box and they go into the trailer. And this is something else that you can do, again, when they are, after winning. For doing this, really, you have even not started any training or any process at all. You have not started the tame process. Then after the tame, so it's really important, whatever we have seen today, that you really have a horse which respond correctly to your stimuli. And when I say that the horse respond to your stimuli correctly, so you are really be able to, put the halter, do 3 steps forward, stop, 3 steps back, stop, 3 steps on the side, stop, 3 stop on the other side, and stop. So this is really the first step. So don't invent yourself to use any operant conditioning training if you are even unable to do this exercise with your horse. Simple stuff. 3 steps forward, then you stop, 3 backwards, with the rope. So that is the first really basic control. So if you cannot communicate this simple exercise to your horse, then don't load the horse. So it's not stuff for you. That's my suggestion. So because really, it means that, you cannot ask what you want to your horses and in a simple situation. So when actually you are asking something in a difficult situation, which could be because clearly, if the horse has never been exposed to a trailer, it's scary, okay? It's something new. Everything new is, they are animals, they are fearful animals, so anything new can be actually scary. In particular, I don't know if you ever consider that trailer are darker, okay, inside, okay? And for the ability of the horses to see, then clearly that trailer is imagine a cave. Would you walk in a cave? without any bad feeling. So why your horse should be funny? I say, okay, let's go in a cave today. Maybe there is a wolf, but I cannot see inside. No? And consider also the difficulty that horses have when you go from a plenty lit situation to a dark one. So they take lots of time for accommodation. I don't know if you ever tried. You are in a room with, plenty of light. You go in a dark room. For a fraction of a second, you don't see anything. So horses take at least 10 times more to actually start seeing, because it's a different adaptation, different eyes. So when you cannot see, are you scared? Yes. So imagine that fraction of a second multiplied by 10. This is why you really need to give time to the horses. If the horse is scared and you push, then clearly it gets mad. So just give time to the horse to really adapt to the situation. There are some other studies that actually prove that you can actually put a light inside the trailer, and this clearly reduce the difference. Clearly, I put a light in the trailer if I have light outside. So you should try to keep light in the same way, but try to consider the shadow are also scary. So you should really consider your lighting situation well. So this is why this is, I think, that is really important. And then you have different training methods. So clearly the operant conditioning is the one where you apply reinforcement or punishment that Constance has explained to you really well. So positive reinforcement, you add something positive. So as today you're seeing, so we give food to the animal at the right behavior. Then negative reinforcement, I take away the pressure at the right behavior. And remember, it's the release of the pressure, the reward. So if you never release the pressure, whatever you're doing, just pulling on a rope or the rein, so your negative reinforcement cannot work, because it's the release of the pressure which actually it's the reward. And then clearly, we prefer methods based on reward, because there are some studies in neuropsychology which come actually from human medicine, that when your brain gets a reward, it doesn't matter if it's a negative or positive rewards, there is basically more secretion of serotonin, which is also a neurotransmitter which is a positive and induce pleasure. So instead, when we work with the punishment, it doesn't matter if it's a positive punishment, so you add something bad, I hit you with a stick or the whip and so on, or I take away you something that you care about, so I don't give you the food in case of horses, then clearly still it's not really suggested as a method, because clearly it brings bad mood, no? So because the horses feel that he is punished, and I guess this is also, I don't know who of you come from psychology, maybe knows better than me. For kids, it's the same. If you educate your kids only on punishment, it doesn't matter if it's, you slap or you take you away the phone, or today you cannot play at the PlayStation, then it still made the kids angry, because it's something. It's a punishment, that's it. Instead, the rewarding method, so it creates a better mental set, put in this way. So in general, for welfare, we suggest training based on reward and not on punishment. So what is the key of the rewards? It increases the likelihood that the horse show the behavior that you want. So first of all, you have to decide what is the behavior that you want, okay? That is the key point. So I want to move my horse one step forwards. I know what I want to do, okay? So I put a pressure on a lead rope. The horse does exactly what I want, and then I release the pressure, if I want actually using negative reinforcement, or otherwise you also can do, today we have seen many combination of negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement. So you wanted the horse to stop exactly in a point, so you were pulling on your rein, the horse was stopping, and then Sebastian was actually adding food. So this is a combination of negative and positive reinforcement. But again, the key point is timing. So I know what behavior I want, and then I reward when the horses show me the behavior that I want. Clearly what happened that if you reward the behavior that you want, then clearly as a likelihood, the horses will show the behavior more than clearly something that you don't want. Clearly, there is still the question that there are lots of unwanted behavior that you want to correct, but in that case, you can always ask a different behavior. So instead of punish the behavior that you don't want, you can ask something else, so you distract the horses. This is called also overshadowing, and often asking a particular behavior that the horses is really good at doing it. I don't know if some of you have dogs. Dogs are the perfect animal for training. So, often dogs know the seat very well. So you say sit or Platz or whatever, and they do it. So when the dog is doing something that you don't want, you can call the behavior, then you distract, and then the dog does the behavior that you want, you reward, and then you have overshadowed the behavior that you didn't want without actually using a punishment. So these are other four. Going back to loading in a trailer. So for me, prevention is really the most important thing. You can habituate to the presence of the trailer. There is a first period where you basically teach the horse just to load and stay calm in the trailer. And actually, you should also habituate to short journey. So even before the proper journey, you can just simulate some short journey, even around the paddock. So now the horse is fine, he loads inside, he's calm in the trailer, and then basically you do 10-kilometer lap or whatever, and then you unload it. And that is called a training for actually traveling. So you can do a training for loading, but also a training for traveling. And sometimes I also suggest, because horses learn by association, and they're really good learners, so faster learner than us, try to avoid strong association between transport and competition, because competition also is a really stressful situation. So it's like every day you jump in a car and you go to work, okay? So after a while, if you use the car only to go to work, then clearly you create a bad association with your car. So try actually to transport your horses sometimes in something nice. Let's go to a nice pasture, let's go to the beach, let's go for a walk, so that basically when you put the horse in a trailer, he doesn't really know that he's going to work. Something positive might come up from this trailer sometimes. And it's like, I am a vet. If the horses see me only for injection, at the third time, I'm not able to catch the horses anymore because, Barbara, nice injection today. So positive and negative punishment. So how actually worked? So basically, you had the stick and the rope. They were actually both used for putting pressure. And then, basically, Sebastian was pulling on the rope, asking for coming forwards, and then he was trying to release the pressure when the horses was actually stepping forwards. What is the problem of negative reinforcement in general? That, you apply pressure to a horse which is 4 or 5 times stronger than you. And then, basically, that is the issues with negative reinforcement, that you ended up to release the pressure on the rope when actually it's going backwards. And basically, he learns that backwards. It's what makes him happy, because you release the pressure. This is why only negative reinforcement often on the rope isn't not really useful, because you are weaker than the horse. And then basically, clearly, in particular in a horse which a bad travel, so he really is pulling back, you cannot win the battle just with the lead rope. So this is why maybe the stick can be useful, because clearly in that case, basically you can apply the pressure, or even tapping, anything which is annoying, or I know Parelli used the rope or whatever, but basically this is something that the horse cannot stop. So I don't know if I'm clear. With the lead rope, he can stop the pressure by himself. Actually, he's pulling us. So with a stick, you can have more control, because basically the horses can just try to move, but if in that case you need to be good to not stop the pressure when he moves on a side. So otherwise he wins the battle again. So this is why like only negative reinforcement and loading in a trailer can be frustrating, and that often horses can win just because they are more powerful, or they have space enough to really avoid the pressure they are putting. So this is why definitely what you see before, which was a combination of negative and positive reinforcement, can be good. So the positive reinforcement was clearly food, and the food was given every time the horses was stepping forwards or was going towards the trailer. Clearly there was plenty of time, so the horses was allowed to sniff around, and then also lots of calming down with the scratching. So scratching, as you already seen in the last 2 days, basically emulate the grooming that the horses do to each other. And when you actually scratch basically on the wither part, then we know that there is basically a relaxation, so the habits slow down, and there is also a release of endorphin. The endorphin are hormones which basically give, there are from base painkillers, so that they release, they take away the pain, and clearly this is why we can say they also calm down a lot, the horses. So, and we know the scratching on the wither part helps a lot, and so calms down the horses. Horses like to be scratched anyway in all the dorsal area, and I think Constance can explain you why, because basically when they do the allo grooming. By now we know that the release of endorphin happens only if you scratch exactly on the wither part, but definitely the effect of calming on the heart rate happen in all the dorsal part. Don't touch or scratch horses in the lower part, because that is what they don't like. Okay, it's like when if someone tickle us in a place that we don't like. So don't scratch, never close to the stifle, because it's dangerous. Okie dokie, I think we're ready.
Je sais pas si on m'entend. On m'entend? Non, on m'entend pas. Si, c'est parti. Donc là, c'est une 2 ans 3 ans. 3 ans. Elle a déjà chargé une fois ou deux, je sais pas.
Oui, pas beaucoup. C'est une trotteuse.
Donc c'est une trotteuse.
Pleine saison de course.
Avant de charger, là, elle est très sur le gaz, vous voyez, elle bouge tout le temps ses pieds. Maybe I can do that in English. This will be better for Barbara. Before I go to do something, I just want her to be just stand still a little bit more. Because I don't want, there is some horses, they didn't think, and they jump in a trailer, or in the van anyway, and they realize until they are inside, it's not very comfortable, so just, okay. I would just see. Pour l'instant, elle fait pas trop attention à moi. Hein? Ouais, peut-être là pour l'instant, oui. voir comment elle se comporte. Alors là, je la connais pas, hein, je l'ai jamais prise, donc juste vérifier qu'elle s'arrête, qu'elle recule. Mon stick, je ne sais pas si je vais l'utiliser parce que je ne l'ai pas désensibilisé. Donc il faudrait d'abord que je m'assure qu'elle n'en ait pas peur. Bon, là, le bruit du fer sur le pont n'est pas un problème. Là, j'aime pas trop parce que le bord est quand même un peu... Il faudrait juste qu'elle bouge un petit peu. Ah, c'est bien fait. Et là, elle est attentive à tout sauf à ce que je lui demande. Hein. Je vais voir si ça peut être intéressant, ça ou pas. Ah. Is that good? Yeah. Ah. J'ai eu un petit peu d'attention, 2 secondes.
Trotters might be less habit to positive reinforcement training because it's not really used a lot in racing. So, and you might have, standardbreds that takes a while to really understand you're giving food for nothing.
Yeah, I just taste if she will eat
Or they
or
just, ponies are really into food, so they soon switch on. Standardbred, there are a bit less. So he's explorating, so I guess that's really important.
So I just stepped forward because she was thinking about it. So she keep exploring and just keep the head straight. That's it for now. Give him some room. Smell it. Now she disconnects. Just careful that not jumping here because if I don't want her to get hurt. The attitude is better now. But je vais juste pas qu'elle reste dans ce coin-là parce que j'ai peur que la tranche. I'm afraid this is dangerous.
The ramp is quite high, the angle is high, and you don't have any protection on the side. So that's really it's really dangerous.
So I would just put a little bit of pressure there, like this. Like this, she knows it's not very comfortable there. I don't ask her to go forward there. That was a bad timing because I put the stick when the feet step on the ramp, but it's all right.
That's as good.
Okay, so that's exploration again.
If you want, you can reinforce the behavior with food now. Because she's doing what you want. You're going to ask maybe, now she's going away, so no.
I didn't have pressure on the neck when she go back round, so I didn't put it. Like this, I'm sure she will not go backward with the pressure. But if I had already started to put a little bit of pressure, I had to keep it till she go back forward. you cannot, I don't know what Barbara is saying, but when they do that, I cannot avoid it.
It's still exploration, so like, and you have to consider that this is the sound that they are afraid. So at the end, if she keeps doing like that and she realizes that there are no monsters under the ramp, is still good. And that is really one of the thing why they're so fearful of loading for this sound. Because this sound is really scary for horses. So, and this is why it's good having, like, anyway, a ramp which is more stable than possible and less noisy than possible.
So she's not thinking too much. She's a little bit stressed, that's normal. Just give her some food.
So just loading a ramp, even in an experienced horse, can basically bring the heart rate from 36 to 70 or 80. Just loading a ramp in a horse which is not, like, fearful and so on, just because it is what it is. So clearly, like, it's normal that, like, she's stressed inside, but then clearly, like, if she eats inside, she has a good association with the trailer, because then she's, okay, if I load, actually I get some food.
And when she tried to get out, I didn't have pressure on the neck. So same thing, I just let go the rope. Like this, I don't put pressure when she go down, because when they're going down, if I put pressure, it will be scary maybe, or she will learn to pull back or something bad. So I don't want that. I will just keep the feet a little bit occupied, because you see, she don't look at me. She just look at the environment. That's normal. Huh? She's young. And I would just try to make a little bit the difference between inside and outside. She understands about the food. So maybe, I hope, she will want to go in easily and don't want to get out. Because when they want to get out, my advice is not close the door, because they not want to stay in it. So
Je vais juste les laisser rentrer les autres, hein, parce qu'ils viennent un peu.
ouais, bah vas-y. Il aime bien me faciliter la tâche. She's doing what I ask, but she's not with me. See, she's just looking everywhere about me. Okay. That's a little bit better. Less tension on the body. That's better too, because she don't go out on her own, not as fast as the beginning. I keep just moving her.
Basically, like, if she comes outside, she has to work. Instead, the trailer becomes a place where she can eat, and it's definitely almost more comfortable to be inside the trailer. Now she has loaded really well, so she really want to go inside. She can stay longer. She now considering, should I go outside or not? try again to move her feet outside, and then you ask again inside.
Sorry? Yeah, move
Let
a
her
little
move
bit.
again, yeah. And then you try to load her again, nice and slowly. Okay, when you got 3 loading so good, then when you stop. Okay, you got 3 repetition with no misbehavior. Let her eat whatever she wants. Don't overtraining your horse. So 3, 4 repetition maximum of the behavior that you want properly, and then you stop. Okay? Because otherwise they will lose what they've learned.
Try to make her back up. Go back to the place where she can eat.
Yeah, as I would stop with her because I think she has done really 3 good loading, and it's really enough for a day. Yeah, take the other one, yeah. So don't think that like you really need to repeat the training too much, because it's like, you know, a child, he does something good, but then if you keep asking, he gets sick of it. And you have lost whatever you're doing. So in general, in training with the horses, after 3, maximum 4 repetition, exactly what you want. This is why we start originally. You really need to know what you want. And then when you think that, you know, you have 3 repetition of the behavior that you want, then you can stop. Then tomorrow, you start again. And you will see that actually, like, you know, it's going to be easier and easier. And then at some point when, you know, you can see that, you know, they are full control, then you stop also the repetition. But usually, like if it's a young horse, he cannot study for too long. So it's a young brain. So 3, 4 repetition is good, and you stop, and the day after you can continue. And then, like, again, you will see that if as memorized, then, like, you know, you get actually the behavior quicker. Again, 3 repetition and stop. Don't overtrain, because then there is really the issue that, like, they sick of the learning experience, and then you lose your training.
Je parle. Ça marche.
You know, this horse was already broken in, and basically he had a really good control of the head and the feet from the beginning. So really, as a horse which already understand, as I told you, go forwards, backwards on the side. And this is why you can use this type of training, because there is communication already. And you can actually use just negative and positive reinforcement.
Porter.
Ok, donc c'est 2 ans trotteur. Je vais te le prendre. Je peux lâcher. Donc ils sont jamais venus là, ils connaissent pas, ils sont un peu chargés, mais pas tant que ça. Donc pareil, on va faire un peu le même principe. Voilà, pas sur moi. Et gants, ok. Ah, toujours pas sur moi. Ok, là j'ai de l'exploration. I have already exploration. So just again. When you have a naive horse, sometimes they just go in. I find some piece of grain in the ramp, so that's cool. Okay, looking inside. And I just do nothing, actually. Just keep the head straight, that's it. So he's exploring inside. So I didn't put pressure, so in this time the same. I didn't pull on the rope. So now I have pressure. So I just have to wait for him. That's what he did, but wait for him to go forward or move the body forward, even if he don't move his feet. Est-ce que vous pouvez, avec l'autre, juste rester dans l'angle de vision du... Parce que forcément, à chaque fois qu'il disparaît, c'est plus difficile. It's more difficult when he just not seeing the horse, the other one. So if you can see him. Okay, so same. Find the bucket. For my security, I will not let him turn in the other side. You have no room to turn in my side, so the only way for him is to back up. So I will leave him backing up and just keep the feet moving a little bit, like the other one just before. Because I didn't check if I can... the mirror, okay. If I can move the hind, move the shoulder, but I check just, I can stop and back up.
Remember the sound, okay? Try to avoid, sounds or noise sound, or even when, you step in. So now that's exactly what is scaring him. Watch the foot.
So the feet is not good. No time to tell it. That's all right. I don't really like when they go forward too fast. I prefer them to go feet by feet and ask me to ask, and wait for me to ask one feet. But if they go forward, I cannot stop them because it's a go, so they will not understand at the beginning. So if it don't move, I will have to do a little bit something. I will try like this, but first can rub with it, so that's fine. I just continue. Just and I didn't, when he back up, I just don't put more pressure on the neck. Just keep the same one. And I increase a little bit with the stick. They're too fast moves. He's doing a lot of moves I didn't ask.
So when the horses go in confusion, they will give you some behavior. So basically now there is really a communication issue. So like, you know, Sebastian is not really asking for something clear, so the horse doesn't know what Sebastian wants, and then he keeps showing him different behavior. Okay, because then it's okay, I'll try this, I can do that, what are you asking me to do? And he's offering different behavior. So this is why it's the moment where there is confusion, it's better go back to something that it's clear. So go back, touch me the leg, ask me to do something that I know what you want, and you reconnect with the horses. So avoid confusion, because that is when actually injuries may happen. So remember, you really need to know what you want from the horses, and then like, you know, it needs to understand. And basically like, you know, if something doesn't work, then you have to change your plan. So maybe the stick doesn't work, let's try maybe positive reinforcement when the horses come forwards.
So I give him something because he yelled forward, so I take this chance to give him something. And this maybe he will be more interested by me. We'll see.
Ask him to go forwards again and try to reinforce the behavior. See if he does it.
I can't explain that in English. Ce que je veux, c'est un peu ponctuer la séquence. Ça va trop vite. Les pieds vont trop vite. Et du coup, si je peux avoir un petit peu de pied par pied, ça me va bien. Parce que là, quand il avance, soit il avance, mais il continue à avancer. Vous voyez, il ne s'arrête pas à chaque fois que j'arrête ma demande. Et donc, du coup, il va aussi vite en arrière qu'en avant. Donc, il bouge trop ses pieds. He's moving too much the feet. Good one. I missed my timing because
too slow.
The step forward was good, and
Sebastian was too slow. That's it. It's just a matter of timing.
And I just backed me up, and the time I get the thing, it was too late. So now it's too much time. Oh, that's all right. There is a change. I don't want him to stay in the front of it doing nothing. If he's searching for something, it's better. So I have pressure on the neck. Just wait. Okay, I will ask again. Yeah. I don't want him to do that on the side because I don't want him to get hurt. Okay. And when they're exploring like this, when they strike the ramp, be careful when you're on the front, because sometimes when they are very big, it happened one time to me to have their feet in mine. And for this kind of horse, the one before too, it will be more difficult on the trailer, because for the safety and my safety, I need more control of it. Because if they try to move fast in the front, they're going to be fast back up. So I have no room there. I have a little bit more room. The ramp is a little bit more stiff, but that's all right. Okay, we'll move a little bit outside. And like this, when I do that, I try to have one step each time I put the pressure. 1. 1. That's 2. 1. 1. 1. Okay. Okay. Can you try? Yes, that's good. Oui. There's another thing he tried to do. It's using the pressure I put in the rope to push on it. So if I have to hold that till it stops pushing. I can't yield when you push on the right or on the side. So that's another difficulty. Yeah. Not bad, but... Je veux bien que tu fasses un effort. Fail. There is an exploration inside, so that's good. Okay. Better, but he never stopped moving his feet, even inside or outside.
Try again. I don't maybe avoid to be right in front of him.
Vraiment. Okay. Again, I don't. Je l'empêche pas de redescendre. Ça sert à rien. Il ne comprendrait pas et en plus je serais obligé de mettre de la pression à l'intérieur. Donc il faut qu'il comprenne qu'à l'intérieur, soit il doit me demander, soit il doit être un peu plus avec moi. Mais pour l'instant, c'est pas possible.
Much better.
It's better and better.
And with the stick here, also you can see that the standard breads are not really habit to sticks, first of all. And then I think there was a lot of confusion before. Just there's been good 10 minutes of confusion in general. Also, Sebastian was not really certain what to do, and the horse was also confused. And there was something that went wrong after the first repetition. Can some of you tell me what's went wrong. So the first time the horse is loaded better, then the second time something happened, and then he stopped it. Did you notice what went wrong? So basically, Sebastian was in front and actually stepped really strong his feet and made a really loud noise.
Yeah.
And then something broken, and then stop. So these are the little things that can destroy your training. Okay, the little thing you can, have 3 hours, and then for 1 second, one single stuff that goes wrong, and then basically like the horse get nervous. Now, it was the first time he was even not really scared of the ramp, and then you have a scene, and then by himself, then he has spent almost 5 minutes trying to understand what the sounds was. It was by accident. It's really Sebastian didn't do it on purpose, but just step too hard and make a really loud noise, which scared the horse. So this is why you really need to be aware of what you're doing and also what's happening around you, because it's really easy that something, scare the horses, and then really make your training more difficult by, horses, and you cannot control the environment so much, so it can happen. But really, it's important that you understand what can be wrong.
One last time. That's what I wanted to check, if I will not need to use the stick this time to make him go in. That's better.
And definitely these horses like to have a bit more space in front. When Sebastian was keeping right in front, there was no way. And it was probably even trying to tell him that, I'm not going there. There is no space for me. Where do you want? I go. I cannot see where I need to go.
Est-ce que tu peux, Léa?
If you got a good repetition, you can stop. Yeah.
Tu le rends? La rends, pardon. J'ai vu après que c'était une fille. 2 filles. Oui. Merci. Oui. Donc là, je vais juste revérifier encore que je peux, arrêter. Elle a vu le saut. Ça, c'est bien. Plus attentive tout de suite à moi. Après, elle a eu plus de temps pour marcher et voir l'environnement. On va la présenter, voir comment on present her in the front to see. Okay, that's exploration. Wait. Oh, the target. Yeah, we're going to try something different with this one.
Okay.
So, I will just have to check if she...
Yeah, try if she's into the foot. Yeah.
You want me to do differently? Right. Yeah, est-ce que vous pouvez venir pas trop loin, ça évite que... elle va rester là, Est-ce que tu peux regarder ce que j'ai dans la main? Non plus. Okay, I think it will be difficult for that. Okay. We'll try without it. We'll try with the other one. Voilà, ça va? Yeah, I prefer that because now she begin to think, and when they just load like this without thinking about it. Good job, girl. Again, I don't want to press them when they go out. Just trying to keep a little bend on my side, because if they go to the left when they go back, when they go away, it will be difficult for me to handle it. There is no problem with the ramp, no problem with the sound. I think the environment is more the problem for now. And the fact she's losing the other one. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Ça va. I'm not sure it's very useful for her.
I mean, she's fine in the loading state. The only problem is unloading that she jumps. So it depends if it's a problem or not. Then maybe you might try to unload backwards.
I will try one last time, because unload it's very good because she all the time when you ask something, she's begin to do just one step by one. But now she no more interesting on the food, so I will make her maybe back like this. Okay.
Exactly. So I think that was the only behavior that you might not want it, and then I would stop anyway. Because keeping working with her would just maybe make her more stressed or something. So I think she's fine with loading. The only problem was jumping out. Then you found a solution. You ask her backwards. She's doing. I guess it's fine.
Okay. The others are ready? The other horses? Okay, perfect. Well, we're gonna do the target with the other one.
You can try with the other one, or if he's into the food, you can start practicing with him, with the target, if you want to.
Yeah, we can try.
Even so, just you learn how to do. So basically, clearly now we have all broken horses. Yeah. With the first horses, clearly, he was right in front, and then this is why I suggested to be more on the side. Remember that when do you remember the story of the pasture and stuff like that? So, if you are right in front of the horses with this position, is a bit more confronting than actually be slightly on the side.
Because Sebastian is quite always in front of the horse.
I know, yeah. that's. But I think that is his way because he likes also be a bit more dominant. But he's aware of this. But as long you are aware that what you are doing and what you are communicating, as Constance was saying this morning, this position right in front is confronting.
Yeah, and I have another question. Is there a reason for mobilizing the front legs? And when he comes back all the times, he takes the horse backwards. Is there a specific reason for playing with the front legs and not the back legs? Like making the horse go sideways? Or?
I'm not certain, like, you know, when he comes out and then he just, he asks some exercise, it's just basically for making sure you have control of the leg of the horses. And again, in the first horses also worked really well, that you start kind of say, okay, when you are outside you work, when instead you go inside the trailer is much more quieter.
But it's always going backwards.
Yeah, I explained that. It's because why I don't control the hind leg, you mean? It's because they don't know this kind of way to do it, and they're pushing a little bit with the left shoulder. So if I ask the leg, I know what's going to happen. They're going to move their leg faster, push me again with more and more with the shoulder, so I have to put a lot of pressure to make the hind leg go away. It can work, but the environment is difficult, so they are very stressed. They want to move their feet, so I will leave the chance for them to do it, and it's not going to help me. If I just go on backward, it's simple. It's on the longitudinal front. I'm learning them to yield to the pressure too, in front and in back. So it gives me some tool for simple thing. If I complicate it by trying to catch the hind leg and the shoulder, I did the shoulder a little bit because I have to, because I don't want them to get hurt on the hole close to the ramp, just to make them go away of this area. But I think for the simplest things to do, it's more to control just forward, backward. It's overshadowing a little bit.
Yeah.
But
and you have to consider they are standardbreds, okay? So they're standardbreds. They just go forwards and backwards. You will never, if you want to flank from a standardbred, good luck. They don't.
Possible, but
it's possible, but it's not really inside the breed or the training that they do. And again, don't ask too much. Like, you know, what you want is actually as long you ask some. And again, if it's merely to reconnect with the communication, ask simple stuff. Don't ask difficult stuff, because what you want is actually making sure, it's like the seat that I told you before. Ask them something that they can do, so that they can kind of switch on and say, okay, I know what you want. You want this one, I can do this. And then you can ask for, and your difficult task today is the trailer. So.
Yeah, if I had just one horse like this, just one, and that when they come by two, so it's difficult when they lose eye contact with the others, begin to be stressful again more. But with one horse, I go around somewhere, put some distance between me and the horse, but that is very difficult because they are handling very close, always with a tight rope, so they're used to have the human close to them and push a little bit to them to go forward. So if I just step, the shoulder come to me. I tried just 2 steps with the black one, and I said, okay, it's too much work, and they are too much stressed. And when you ask that, you have to push them a lot, so they can eat themselves with the hind leg, go faster, and it's not very good, even for their mind and even for their body at the beginning. Or you have to build something. And I don't have time here, and the environment is not good for that for now. Or we have to spend more time to do it.
Okay, thank you.
She didn't take the food. Maybe I can put some grain. If the next one... more grain. Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking, you can use operant conditioning with broken horses because clearly they know the situation. So what can you do if actually a horse is unbroken? So you then, there is a problem with communication. So you can actually use target training, which is a kind of part of clicker training. It's based on positive reinforcement training. And we also have used it with unbroken horses, even mid horses, and it works okay. Clearly it takes more time because you need to explain, what is the target, and then when the horses touch the target, you get some food, and then basically you move the target closer and closer to the trailer, and then until the trailer, and then they basically self-load. This is a way to teach self-loading to horses, even unbroken one.
Ah oui.
With positive training, clearly it's important that they like the food because otherwise they are not into the food. So the best is actually using the same food that they usually eat. So don't think, special treats, stuff like that. Just, whatever they eat, the pellets or the oats or whatever they eat is okay. And you can use as a target a stick with a kind of a colored board. I don't know, you can Google target training and you will see. Or you cannot just use simple cone like that. And, whatever, it's easy or handy for you because then basically if we have a horse which is into food, so you can, but it's really easy, you can do by yourself. So at the beginning you load your target. So you put this in front of the horse, it will touch. And as soon as it touch, again, you really need to be quick. You have to feed them without the cone. And then again, 4 or 5 times when the horses understand, that's what you want, just touch, and I get food, that's easy. Then you move the target a bit forwards, and then on the ground, and then when again 3-4 repetition is okay, then you can move. And then you will see even horses that are unbroken, even without lead rope, they will follow the target. Something that you can...
So I have grain, I have treat, we'll see.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because the black one was very interesting about the cone, but don't want to eat. I didn't try with grain, so we wait for the others.
But otherwise, you can see it's really simple stuff. And it's mainly on you and your timing and making sure that the horses understand what is the target, and touching the target brings food. And it's useful if you have horses that are not broken, because clearly then you cannot use the lead rope. And that is something that you can do. And often if they are in group, you might target training one and then let the other following. That is something that you can also do.
So the 2 horses coming, it's problem horses, right? Okay.
Can you tell us something about what you find out, maybe in studies, or what is your own meaning about what is the most comfortable position for horses to ride in a trailer? Backwards, forwards, on the side? What you find out about this?
Yeah, it's the backwards position. So there are, the first study was published from Professor Sharon Krager in the 1980. And it's basically she started thinking about backwards position mainly because of physics, a balance. And then basically why backwards? Because the horses already have more weight in the front, but basically on the front leg there are no angle. So basically when you brake, they just go forwards. And then basically instead when they are with the backwards, they have so many angles, they can split the force. And then basically instead of falling, they just can do like that with the stifle. And that was the first theory, and it started showing this. And then we've done more studies. So in one study, I compared the 3 positions in a track. So the same, basically, facing forwards, facing backwards, and on the side. For on the side, clearly I had to use a different track, but they were really similar. And they did exactly the same journey, and then we monitor the behavior inside, and also all the muscle enzyme and the cortisol. And in the backward position, we had significant less movement inside, and also less CK and SAT, and that's what you really don't want your horses already with a high muscle enzyme before of a competition. So now, and then we repeated some study, and then we also monitor the heart rate. And actually, so even with the heart rate, when they travel backwards, you have lower heart rate and also more parasympathetic system. So basically, the heart rate variability is better. So we are almost certain now that, the backward position is good. And then even there are some other study where they put some unbroken horses loose, and that's actually, they soon learn that if they assume the backward position, they can balance better. So I think nowadays we have enough evidence.
Okay, this one eating.
Yeah, okay,
Let's
then try.
You tell me, being indulgent is the first time I try it.
Juste un petit commentaire là, le cheval est un peu maigre, comme vous avez remarqué. Il a été malade là pendant plusieurs mois, un problème de dents, etc. C'est pour ça qu'il a perdu beaucoup de poids. Et il est maintenant guéri, mais opéré la dernière fois il n'y a pas longtemps, donc il va reprendre du poids. Pas vous inquiéter, c'est pas un cheval qui restera comme ça. Il n'est pas maltraité, il a été malade.
Okay, now try a bit more far.
Tu suis?
You can see that he has already learned that, if he touches the cone, he gets food. You can also put on the ground now. No, don't give the food. He has to touch the cone. Go back to touch the cone. Yeah. Try again. Okay, so he got it. Let him free to do it. Now you can move not too much, not so fast. It's too far. Back. After 3 good repetitions, you ask for more. Remember the repetition stuff. Okay. So he really needs to touch the cone.
Try again.
Now you can all move him, the cone, yeah. No, just only when he touches it, right now.
Ah.
Good, he has learned it. Just one step. We lost one opportunity because he tried. He cannot see the cone because he's okie dokie. So remember that they cannot really see right in front of them. Good.
Mon fort.
Following you everywhere anyway. To ask, yeah. Load a bit the cone, yeah.
I have no more food. Okay. I don't go to the trailer for now.
It's too fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Repetition. Has to touch. Yeah, good. So Sebastian is not doing, but basically you should also have a sound that marks
yeah,
the
I
behavior
forgot.
that you
Sorry.
want. Eh?
I forgot.
Yeah.
He did.
If you want, we can try now go towards the one step at a time. He's touching, a lot. He's really into this game.
I have to go faster than him. Alors que tu me suives devant.
Need to wait, he does.
Can I take it on my hand? The cone?
You know, you can try, but he will go. Keeping your hands and again, no. Okay. Give me the cone. Yeah.
Monte avec moi peut-être. La tête. Juste qu'il ne puisse pas faire demi-tour dans l'autre sens.
don't know if you have enough space, but basically it's in.
No more grain, but I have the bucket.
Good, it's in.
I'm squished.
And again, that's simple. There is no battle, and even he's broken in, so but even if he's not broken in and there is no lead drop, you can try. And it was really quick, so really I think you should stop because he did really well.
What?
He's okay he did what you wanted, so I would not repeat too much. And also because we pushed it a lot. You got the target training in probably how much? 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. So usually you train first with the target, and when you repeat, and when he has learned exactly the target, then you introduce the trailer. So I think he did really well for today. I would not push too much. And if this was the bad traveler, then I think that was the best.
What was the problem with the horse? So there is an association with the vet.
Yeah, so this was the horse that didn't want to go inside, I think, after the clinic. So really, I think. And target training works on the fact that you distract because they go so much into the target, they stop thinking about the trailer. You have seen that actually he got confused at one moment. He had to decide, do I really go to touch the cone? But that is the trailer, I don't really want to do it. But no, probably I wanted the food. No, I'm scared.
L'oriente pas?
And that's what he did. There was one moment that he defecated. This is why then I said, no, don't stop now, because this actually was the reaction of the fear. So the fear level was actually increasing, because, defecation is a sign of stress and fear. But this is why, then I said, no, give him the cone. And then he was again into the food, he forgot his fear.
The bucket.
Yeah, the bucket is okay. The bucket is the Jacob. So when you do positive training, we call in the real sense is like the Jacob, the machine, because really that's what it brings. And that is also really good to do. So you target training inside the trailer, and then you give the food, and then at some point they self-load. With self-loading, the only thing that's really important is the signal. So and then if you trust your horses, you can try just to put the target there without any rope, and then they go inside by themselves.
What? Non, bah non, si on fait de la même façon, if we do the same technique, I don't need rope.
Do you want to try again? I think Sebastian is enjoying the target training.
It's interesting for me too. The only thing I can say, it's not asking from the human. It's the horse decide to do it. So that's good. Like this, the behavior is better.
It works on
after you have to combine something at the end, if everything is fine, maybe we can do both.
So basically, it's up to you. Have always used negative and positive reinforcement, and that's basically operant conditioning. The target training instead work on the classical conditioning, so which actually a level above the operant, because you work on the association, and this is why the sound is also important, because you really need to mark the behavior. This is the behavior that I want. Remember, it's all about clarity and communication. So you need to be clear, and when the communication is clear, then they don't get confused, you don't get confused, everyone knows what we want, and then it's a bit easier. So, and again, you can use for unbroken horses too.
It costs. As we said with Barbara, it's more easy to, when you see it doing it, it's more easy to remake it on your own without, you don't have to have the perfect timing, and you don't have to measure the pressure you can put on each horse, because in each horse I didn't put the same pressure, because I can feel it's not going to go well if I put more. If I put less, it's not enough. So with this, it's the horse more on his own decide to do something. So it's more positive.
And it's easy for you, because with the operant conditioning, you really need to read the behavior, and your timing needs to be perfect. Here, and you have to consider that now there are even targets that give food by themselves. so you avoid completely your timing with the food. So, but
we see.
That's the issues with, I think, training horses, because you see a trainer, it seems easy when he does. So now I go back home, stick here, load here, and then I get confused and I create a disaster. So this is why I thought that maybe this is something easier, because everyone can see the behavior. So really just when he touch the cone, that is what you want, you reward the food.
Il y aura pas de... Pour l'instant, oui. You have to give maybe a little bit less, like this. They don't have plenty food in. Maybe I have to do a little bit less, give food. Yeah, no, it's not that. It's because they still work, eating. Didn't touch.
That is the point. Remember that he is going to try to get free treat. There is one professor who's really good. She said, Professor Rapp, no free treat in life, even for the animals. And as for dogs or for horses, they need to work for the treat. So don't never give food out of nothing. So ask for a behavior. Now she's distracted by the sound, so you can go back to the cone. Yeah. No, you can help her because she got attention.
There is exploration at the same time. So.
Yeah. But you can move the cone and ask for her again. Again, she's not focused on exercise, so move the cone or give her attention. Detach it, so she was actually quicker than you. Yeah. And maybe it's good if the lady with the lead rope goes inside, or you take the lead rope. Yeah.
No.
No, you don't have to push that. It's just there for you.
I did the noise before I touch, so I give her. It was automatic now.
Now there is the moment that she has to decide what I do, the cone or the ramp. You can help her a bit more. Try to leave the cone and maybe like don't stay right in front. Yeah. Put the cone close to her. Take her attention. Yeah. And lower the cone a bit more. Yeah. You can try to targeting her a bit more now. Standing. Yeah.
Leave the rope if she has. Yeah. Donc, il ne faut pas qu'elle rencontre la pression si elle baisse la nuque sur la rampe. Sorry?
You can also go a bit more inside and see if then she decides to put one leg.
That's good.
She is not really focused now. She could also have been too much, like, because I said it doesn't need to be also so quickly. And then, you can also, give her a break on something and then start again, or or it's just basically the thing is that, like, not all horses are so quick in 5 minutes, so they might need a bit more time to really understand the game. Also, because I don't know what she's not focused on the training, and you cannot learn, you need the focus of the animal if you want to really teach them something.
I understand very well she have to touch, because she moving the top of the nose to touch it. Too much effort.
So you can also go back and then start asking. It's like before, now, like, she has lost a bit of interest in the thing, or okay, or she's scared, and then she's not motivated enough by the, so it's like the other horse, like, she has now to decide what I really want to do, like, want to actually really keep this game, awesome. Or like, but that is also fearful. So. And as I said,
touch the cone before I ask it.
maybe just for the sake of try, you can try also in the other trailer. Maybe this is if you want to try with the other trailer, maybe it's a bit easier than this one. I don't know if.
I have no. Okay, can you just? I'm coming. You follow me? Can you move a little bit inside? Sorry?
Keep her focus on you and on the cone. Yeah. Go back. Yeah, don't worry, go back. Yeah. She's smart, but that's something she should not do. Backward. I don't know, it's up to you. If you want to keep going, then she needs to be a bit more focused. Yeah.
Ah, it's interesting for me. Different.
I said, if she was a bad traveler and I can actually make him already go inside, and you can see she's super relaxed, so she's not thinking of, like, it's not really scared, it's relaxed, there is no fight at all, they're not pulling back, there is no nothing. As I said, I would not do the target training in 1 hour anyway, so I would break it in, as always, I would not let my training for transport at the last second, and then they clearly usually work. So and I think you have seen it before she did not put any step on the ramp, then with the other one she has done it. So again, you shape the behavior. In particular in retraining, if you have a horse which is really a bad traveler, you don't want to solve your problem in one day. So, and then you shape the behavior. So shaping a behavior means I break down what I want. So, and to me, already she was, with the 2 foot in front was good. I would stop for today because I said, too long section are no good. So usually a good learning lesson is 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And then you also need to understand when to stop. But that is also part of a good training. So. I think for me it's okay. I know that you are more, you like the game more than the horse, but yeah.
Can you try to sorry, go on the trailer and see if he wants to go on his own? Yeah.
There is food inside.
Yeah. Follow. Yeah, you can follow him actually.
And now you can also ask her to, no, too fast. You want to load both inside?
Sorry?
You want to load both inside or see if
Not really, I just want to check if he remember.
Yeah, it went straight in, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I think it's okay for me. I don't know if you want it. I think it's more than enough.
This one have to go in. This one. Yeah. Vous avez besoin de la ramener, si j'ai bien compris, c'est ça? Non? Oui, mais vous avez besoin de la ramener. Non? Ah ok, donc ça c'est bien. Ok, donc ça c'est, en fait c'est vous, it's up to the owner now. Yeah, because I was thinking they needed to loader to go away.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So it's a good thing what she did today. But if you want me to do more, I can. If you don't need to do more, you just have to repeat this exercise for a few days, a little bit more for one maybe, and maybe you can solve like this on its own. It depends what you want. Ah ok, alors je le refais en français. Donc soit vous voulez absolument qu'elle monte aujourd'hui, et je peux la monter, pas avec cette technique-là, avec une technique plus de demande et de relâchement. Soit vous avez le temps de faire le même exercice avec votre véhicule, ce qui sera encore mieux pour ancrer les choses, jusqu'à temps qu'elle monte tranquillement. Et quand elle descend, bah vous arrêtez, vous la remettez au box, et puis voilà. Et au bout de 3-4 sessions, s'il n'y a pas d'évolution, après il faudra demander et faire autrement. C'est un petit peu comme vous voulez, quoi. Bah, ça peut être positif pour elle, en tout cas. C'est-à-dire que là, on n'a rien fait de coercitif. Il n'y a pas eu de... De quoi?
Si pour elle, c'est pas trop, pour moi, c'est OK.
Non,
je suis pas obligée non plus, donc
non.
pas de souci.
OK. Mais actually, I don't know what to do. What do you think, actually? Do you think it's enough for the horse, or do you think... What do you think, Barbara? Do you think it's enough?
As a target training, yeah, in particular with a bad traveler, I would not push in general. So I think also because she did really well, then you can basically repeat, and then so you learn also by yourself, and then you can also.
Vous vous sentez capable de refaire les mêmes exercices, c'est assez basique.
Oui.
Et bon, alors à ce moment-là, je vous encourage à le faire, vous.
Ouais.
Otherwise, since now she's really into you a lot, then you can try negative and positive reinforcement anyway, if you really want to try, and she might. It depends really. So there are two different techniques. That is the target training.
The problem is if I start something, and because they try more and more, so if I begin, I have to finish.
I know. I would not do it, honestly. Also because if she has really a behavioral problem, you don't solve in 1 hour. So it's really important that she shaping the behavior. Also because otherwise, maybe now she loads and then there is...
Ce que Barbara a dit, c'est que moi, je pourrais utiliser un peu de pression en plus. Le problème, c'est que je pense, vu qu'elle connaît déjà ça, c'est qu'on va un peu se battre et il va falloir qu'elle comprenne qu'elle doit céder vers l'avant. J'aurais pu combiner les deux. Mais d'un autre côté, si on arrive à ancrer ce qu'on a fait aujourd'hui et que vous le faites, vous pourrez utiliser après un petit peu de soutien avec votre longe en même temps. Viens là, à chaque fois que tu viens, tu vois, ça se passe bien. Et en même temps, répétez ça 2, 3, 4 séquences pour que le cheval, parce qu'elle était calme, effectivement, il n'y a pas eu d'augmentation de cardio, etc. Donc, je pense que pour elle, c'était dans tous les cas positif et le rapport avec le transport. Donc voilà, je pense que si vous vous sentez capable de refaire ce même exercice, elle le joue bien, elle a bien compris la cible, hein, donc ça sera juste à refaire et essayer d'aller de plus en plus vite sur le pont et après de récompenser presque que sur le pont et après quand elle fait un effort de plus, récompenser beaucoup plus, garder un seau de grain à l'intérieur pour que quand elle monte, un seau plein, qu'il y ait vraiment à manger, pas fermer la première fois bien sûr et construire comme ça. C'est pareil, et c'est bon pour toi aussi ou pas? Il est bien monté la deuxième fois. Ouais. Ouais, donc ça c'est bien du coup. Ok. Bon, bah alors je vous laisse partir.
Merci beaucoup.
C'est moi. it's interesting for me to see how fast he was going with this environment, because I do it on medical training or something very specific, but on their boxes or on their own environment. So I know it's fast, but I was not thinking it's going to be so fast. It was a little bit different with the thoroughbred, because it's young horses, they never give some food to at the end. So
yeah, and standard bred, they are renowned, they are not really into food a lot, because by generation and generation, then no one in the racing use positive training, so the horses are not really able to that. So.
The only thing I can see is that going very close to me. I don't really like that, because I'm used to have some problem horses or stallion, but
you can also use a stick. I use the cone mainly because it's easy to see for you, but the proper target training is your stick with basically a ball at the end, so you can lure in, and so you don't need to be so close, and then
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but if you do rules at the beginning, if they come to you and you don't give food, it's going to be all right, because I did a study with Léa Lansan and Alice Ruet at the Aradeus. We take 20 horses in my way without positive reinforcement, and 20 horses with positive reinforcement. But with negative reinforcement too, we just add positive reinforcement. And I was surprised they didn't go on the pocket, because every time we have the behavior acquis, I don't know in English, we change behavior, so we didn't give food again for the same one. So we moved forward like this, and actually the 2 days was the more difficult days, but after it was very easy, and they didn't go forward to us. We did that with stallion too, and it was not a problem.
Usually negative reinforcement, it's quicker, but then really can get wrong. And instead positive reinforcement is longer, but then it sticks better in mind and doesn't damage the brain of your horses. So, that is the thing. But there are many studies comparing negative and positive reinforcement, so possibly the combination is one of the best. And, again, for target training, you can have a look. It's a clicker training. And, I personally use that one for unbroken horses, where they really I don't have any other mean on communication. And if you have to load unbroken horses, what you do? So that is a way to solve. And we actually have done a study even for meat horses. Actually, we trained the horses, but, for 1 week before, and then we loaded, and then when they arrived, actually they even traveled better. So because clearly again, there is a more positive association with the track, with the food, and with the situation. It's a different way. And remember that in training, if something doesn't work, you have to find something else. Don't pick a fight with a horse, because the horse will win. But the only difference is that you should have a better brain. So try to find something different if the first stuff doesn't work.
Yeah, if the first stuff doesn't work, to repeat a second time the first thing will not change anything. But it's right with human too.
Bien, c'est une bonne conclusion. Merci beaucoup pour votre patience. Ça va? Vous avez chaud? Oui. Oui, merci à nos intervenants.